All right, for the Performance Made Simple website with the 10 and 20 tool, we're talking about zones 4 through 1 here, all the methods and plyometrics. Not only will you use the loading methods that we've talked about in previous videos, but here's what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the specific plyometrics for that loading zone. Now, with that being said, this all comes from the Ranged Plyometric Method from Triphasic Training, and I don't get into details, but I just tell you what to do. You can look up the details, they're on my YouTube channel. I would probably take on the zones 4 through 1, I would take out the deep method, okay? I would just strictly stay with the mid-range with your plyometrics and the very high-end range of motion, never getting into that deep squat. I'll probably pull the loaded. I will not do the loaded method in the zones 1 through 4. I would probably pull out the pause method unless you're doing an extremely long cycle and you want to start with them, but you must get away from the drop or the pause method. The box drop, jump, definitely coming back and cycling it through the high and the mid-range 2 points. So when you land at a mid-range. You also land at the high, get out. The next thing is the ASFM method, which would be used in every method above power and above, unless you're focusing on a pause. But even you'll pause if you're going to do a pause jump, you'll pull yourself down into it. I would probably take out the single leg method and use double, because again, this is more sport specific based upon the speed. Whether to do French contrast or the potentiation clusters, what I would basically do is, if I probably would only use the potentiation cluster method unless I had 2 training cycles in the summer. First one I might do French contrast, second one I'd probably do the potentiation clusters, okay? Now another big one is the accelerated. That's when the bands are hooked to the ceiling and the athletes pull them up. I definitely do mid to high range with accelerated. You can do box jumps with accelerated, definitely the ASFM, definitely the double leg. I would put in one of the jumps in the French contrast method, I would put the accelerated bands from the ceiling. There's no doubt about that. And then the thrust method is really effective when you're doing the high range. So the athlete goes down into a deep range with the accelerated bands, and as they come out, they save energy and then spring at the last possible second to pop. And in using this 10 and 20 training tool that I have, zones 4 through 1, this thrust method is extremely effective, okay? Extremely effective. So there's the methods. You can look at my videos on the details. The videos are on the YouTube page, but you can look at the details of all these methods on my other videos, but these are just the methods that work in zone 4 through 1.